Hello everybody, my name is Bianca Spiteri and I'm Assistant Head for Inclusion and SEND at Daubeney Academy. I'm just going to talk to you today about what we have in place for our students at Daubeney Academy with special educational needs and disabilities, and especially focusing on the Year 6s coming over to us and joining us in Year 7 in September. We are a very small school compared to other high schools in the area. We currently have 574 children on our roll. We have 19 children with EHC plans and we have 101 students on our SEND register who are K-coded. We are expecting 5 EHC plans for our children coming up to us into Year 7 in September, and we are the school of choice for many families as we are smaller than average school, and we pride ourselves on knowing and nurturing all of our students and ensuring that the right provision is in place for the right child. Even though our setting is small, we still are a very busy school. So our vision at Daubeney Academy is that regardless of age, stage, unique characteristics or circumstances, our children will have access to an appropriate high quality education which always provides a positive experience of learning, a sense of belonging, value and worth, aspirational outcomes and the right support at the right time. We also hope to provide information and opportunities to enable informed decisions and making good choices. Successful planned transition at any point of movement between phases or settings, and thoughtful and thorough preparation for their future progression to a fulfilling adult life. Our vision is for a SEND system which identifies and assesses need at an early stage and which provides appropriate and impactful support, whatever that may look like. We really are very fortunate at Daubeney Academy to have a fantastic team here at Daubeney. We are fortunate enough to have 9 LSAs on our team, but we also have a SEND administrator who is often in the office when I won't necessarily be available. We have a HLTA on our team, and we also are very fortunate to have an emotional literacy support assistant who works with children 2 mornings a week so they can talk through any worries or concerns that they may have, but also helps to build their confidence and self-esteem. We are also very fortunate that we have an EAL coordinator on the team, and she works with any children that come into school who have English as additional language. We have a variety of experience among the team. We have some LSAs who have been with us a very long time, but we also have some eager beavers who are very new to the team and are willing to learn new things. We have hour-long training sessions where lots of different topics are covered, such as anxiety, autism and ADHD. And we also meet weekly for a staff briefing to discuss any pupil updates that have come up during the week. We are very fortunate at Daubeney Academy that we are able to invest every year in new resources. We have a variety of resources that are right for the children, and these are all ordered on an annual basis and are bespoke to the children's needs of the school that we have and the children at the time. Very recently we have been investing in reader pens. Every year we have quite a healthy budget at Daubeney Academy, so we've been able to invest in reader pens for our children to help with their reading, and this also helps when they come to do their exams and GCSEs in Year 11. We also have time-out passes, coloured overlays and coloured paper and books. We also give out toilet passes for those children who medically need to leave the classroom to use the toilet. The children are all allowed to use fidget toys. We do make bespoke resources for our students, and we have bespoke individual timetables for students who require it. We have access to Chromebooks in our SEND office for children that need them, and we also have a variety of handwriting and pens and pencils for those children who need them. We also work with a number of outside agencies here at Daubeney Academy, and we have very strong and positive relationships with the people that we work with. We employ a speech and language therapist who comes in 1 day a week from Magic Words, and she works with children who are referred to her and who are in need of speech and language therapy. We have our own school education psychologist. Again, she comes in when children are referred to her and when she's needed. She also can provide training for staff and has come along to our parents' coffee morning to give out some information to our parents about what an educational psychologist actually does. We also are very closely linked with the autism team at Bedford Borough at the local authority. We have weekly meetings with the mental health schools team. We also liaise very closely with CAMS, the Children and Adolescent Mental Health Service, As I said before, we are very fortunate to have an emotional literacy support assistant in the school, and she works with children 2 mornings a week. We have a range of, we use a range of alternative provisions such as SSG and Shine, and again we have very, very positive and very close relationships with those outside agencies. I really do truly believe that we have a fantastic transition process at Daubeney Academy. This has been tried and tested over a number of years now, and it's always met with great success every single year. So a lot of the students and parents that are coming to us in September have already met the Daubeney staff at our open evenings and other visits. If I'm aware of any EHCP annual reviews, and they are in time, I will attend any EHCP annual reviews or any other meetings that we feel are relevant. I then am able to offer one-to-one visits and tours to parents who request it. You can either telephone the school or email me if you would like an individual meeting or a tour. I'm in the process of arranging meetings with primary school SENCOs, and I'm in the process of going down to schools to share information so that we know what strategies and what the needs are for the students coming up to us. We also ask school parents and students to fill in transition passports. You would all have received these by now, and hopefully sending them back filled into us so that we have a real holistic view of the child and of their needs. Additional transition sessions are offered to our children with special educational needs and disabilities. These are offered on Friday the 26th of June and Monday the 29th of June. There will also be a coffee morning after on Monday the 29th of June where you'll be able to meet the SEND team, so please do come along to that if you are able to. Our whole school Year 7 transition days are on Tuesday the 30th of June and Wednesday the 1st of July. The first day of school in September for our Year 7s, there's always only for Year 7s and no other children are in school on that date. So the Year 7s have the whole school to themselves on the first day in, which we find works really, really well for our young Year 7 students that are new to the school. So this is an example of our student transition passport, which you would have been asked to fill in for your children. Hopefully you would have received this. If you haven't, please do get in touch with the school. We ask school parents and students to fill this in so that we have a real rounded view from parents, children and school of what that child needs and what helps them best. This, like I've said, gives us a really good view of what the child needs, what their triggers might be and how we can help them settle into school. So it would be really helpful if you could fill this in and send it into school if you haven't done already. So at Daubeney Academy we follow a graduated response like all schools do, which is part of the Assess Plan Do review process. Wave 1 of that process is quality first teaching, which all teachers are expected to follow in their classrooms. We have then Wave 1 Plus, which is monitoring stage, where children may be referred to the SENCO and further investigation and testing may take place to see if there's any specific need for that student and any specific strategies or help that needs to be put in place in the classroom for that student. Wave 2 is special educational needs support, where an area is identified that is a need or a diagnosis. External agencies may be involved and that child may receive intervention to close a gap or meet the need of that student. That student will also have a student passport at this stage. Wave 2 Plus is again special educational needs support with significant levels of support and possibly intervention. We may be considering an education and healthcare plan at this stage, and again the student would have a student passport. Wave 3 of the Assess Plan Do review process would be that we would be applying for an EHC needs plan for that child. They may have some one-to-one support and intervention, and the student would have a student passport. So if you have a little bit more of a look of, in depth of what assess might mean in the Assess Plan Do review process, we would gather information from feeder schools and from parents. We may complete some baseline assessments and we may complete specific assessments for that student to see if there's a specific learning difficulty. We may refer the child to speech and language therapy within school, which is our magic words. We may also refer to our EP service to see if there's an assessment that could be done with the child to see again if there's any specific learning difficulties. We may, if we think it's necessary, submit an EHC request and after a series of cycles of assess, plan, do and review. So the next stage of the graduated plan is the planning stage, and this is where we would write student passports. So we would maybe sit with the student and also parents to see what strategies would help that student and what we could put in place for that student that would go onto a student passport and be shared with all staff. We may look at EHCP target summaries and see what needs to be put in place for that student on an individual basis. We would look at timetabling interventions, so that would be during morning registration and personal development, and we may withdraw from Spanish if we feel that student would benefit from that. We would look at timetabling LSA support in class to help with specific subjects where there may be an area of difficulty. We would look at specific case studies during training days so that we ensure that all teaching staff are aware of the children and their needs. We would link intervention planning very closely with the EHCP targets, and then we would carry out robust monitoring, tracking and assessment of the interventions that are carried out for that student. So the do part of the graduated approach, we are very lucky here at Daubeney Academy. We have a number of interventions that we can put in place for the students. We have speech and language therapy groups and one-to-one sessions that can be offered. We offer SumDog. We have reading interventions such as Lexia and one-to-one reading with LSAs. We have handwriting interventions, touch typing interventions. We also, as I said previously, have Reader Pen, and we also use assistive technology such as speech-to-text software. We have English as an additional language intervention in the school. We have bespoke interventions such as Autism and Me and My ADHD that we can run with the students. We have meet and greets at the gate, which we can offer in the mornings, and check-ins and check-outs at the end of the day. The children can use checklists as well as lots of other resources, and we also follow advice given by external agencies. So the final part of the graduated approach is a review side of things. We carry out assessment week at the end of every term. Assessments are carried out half-termly to show progress. We have monitoring and feedback from the LSAs, and the information gathered helped us to make a decision whether to continue with interventions, modify them or stop them altogether if the child has made really good progress. So finally, I just wanted to talk to you about how we deploy our LSAs at Daubeney Academy. We do try to timetable by subject expertise and pupil area of need. We also try to give a consistent member of staff for interventions and also for in-class support, really, if we can manage it. We place LSAs in place in lessons to reflect areas of need, and we also look at the requirements on an EHC plan to see whether or not that child might need support in certain lessons. So, for example, if a child has a real need around their food tech lessons, then we would put support in their food tech lessons. We also put support in place in anticipation of any EHC application. So, for example, if I'm applying for a child to have an EHC plan, then that support is already in place in class for them, because here at Daubeney Academy we base all of our support on a needs basis. We have a broad range of experience and length of service, as I've explained previously. The timetabling is constantly reviewed and quite often changed quite regularly. We do have a key worker system in place for all of our students on the SEND register. This ensures consistent and regular communication to parents and with students every single term. So you always have an update of how your child is getting on, at least on a termly basis. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you found this video informative. If you would like to contact me at any point about anything, please see my email details and the telephone number at the school. Just call any time and I will call you back or email you back as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.